Good evening and welcome to my show. Tonight I'm having an imaginary date with my favorite best-worst director of all time. Born in 1924, Edward D. Wood Jr. served in the military during World War II, but he was a soldier with a difference. Secretly, he was wearing a brassiere and panties under his uniform. After the war, he joined the carnival, but his lifelong passion for movies drove him to a career as an editor, a screenwriter, a producer, a director, an actor. He did it all. Badly, perhaps, but he did it all. First, let's take a look at The Revenge of Dr. X.
Yes, it's all there. Your glandular count has the same count as the blood around a human heart. It's all there. You can move as well as you can feel. I know you can. I'll make you move. All I need is the blood of a human being to prove the fact. It will be proof without a shadow of a doubt that man is descended from plant life. I'll make you move. Those stumps, your legs, are strong enough to carry 10 times your weight. It takes the blood of a human heart to prove my theory. You will have the blood of a human heart.
Made in 1970, this would have been one of Ed Wood's script-for-hire jobs. Apparently, at low points in his career, Ed Wood could turn out 90 pages of cinematic gold for as little as $100. In this case, the producers really got their money's worth. The film was then shot on location in Japan for about the same amount of money in yen as they spent on the script.
How simply divine. We'll be back with more Dr. X and his fruity freak later on in the show. Because although we all enjoy a splash of color every once in a while, Ed Wood's real peak was in black and white. Like with his film Glenn or Glenda. Now that was a strange one. It tells the tale of a man called Glenn who likes wearing women's clothes, but is afraid to tell his fiancée. This is Ed Wood raising a mirror to his own life, for he was a heterosexual transvestite with a thing for Angora. But who doesn't have a thing for Angora? But I digress. And now I present Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Greetings, my friend. We are all interested in the future, for that is where you and I are going to spend the rest of our lives. And remember, my friend, future events such as these will affect you in the future.
No kidding.
You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here. And now, for the first time, we are bringing to you the full story of what happened on that fateful day. We are giving you all the evidence based only on the secret testimony of the miserable souls who survived this terrifying ordeal. The incidents, the places. My friend, we cannot keep this a secret any longer. Let us punish the guilty. Let us reward the innocent. My friend.
Criswell says my friend 4 times in this speech, which is laying it on a bit thick.
Grave robbers from outer space.
No, I'm not sure I can stand it, my friend. All the big names, or at least all the big names by the standard Ed Wood production. Tor Johnson, a goofy Swedish wrestler. Vampira, sexy vamp hostess of late-night TV. She might even remind you of someone around here whose name we won't mention. Midnight movie Nirvana. And so much better than plans 1 through 8. They all sucked. Bela Lugosi.
American Flight 812, this is Burbank Tower.
The budget for this extravaganza was around $20,000, and it came, believe it or not, from a church called the Southern Baptist Convention. Great reaction shot. And there it is, your standard 1950s unidentified flying object with fish line. The idea was that the film would make so much money it would pay for 12 more pictures about each of the apostles.
Well, are you in trouble?
Trouble?
Ah, there she is. Speaking of trouble,
What in the world?
That's nothing from this world.
I don't think that these three actors are all looking at the same thing.
Are you in trouble?
Mayday, mayday. Stand by, Burbank Tower.
You suppose a passenger saw it?
Yeah, most of them were asleep. But it was quite a jolt, Jeff. I'll check.
Good.
You couldn't make it up, could you? And when you use stock footage as much as Ed Wood did, you didn't always need to. Ah, but here's an example of non-stock footage. This is Ed Wood at his unbelievably technical best. So the flying hubcap checks into the graveyard where most of the action takes place in this masterpiece of cinema.
Did you hear anything?
The so-called actors playing these gravediggers were in reality two of the film's financiers. But Ed got lucky. Both of these guys were naturals.
Maybe we're getting old. Whatever it is, it's gone now. That's the best thing for us, too. Gone. Yeah, let's go.
Now here's a glitch in the space-time continuum. Note how it's still daytime where the gravediggers are, but over by the mausoleum, it's night. Here we are. This is the first appearance by Vampira. All her scenes were shot in around 2 hours. She was paid just $200, but her real reward was immortality. Much of the action in Plan 9 from outer space takes place over this cemetery. The UFOs land there, and after that, the recently deceased come to life. He's supposed to be a police inspector searching the graveyard after UFO sightings and the bodies of those two gravediggers were found. Now, we'll explain the significance of that remark a little bit later, but a little more of Tor first. And he was at least as good an actor as some former bodybuilders we could name, but would have a hard time spelling. Here he is, not Bela Lugosi. Bela Lugosi's double. Don't worry, folks, all will be revealed. It might not make any sense, but it'll be revealed. Guess he's the type of cop who likes to shoot first and avoid questions later. Oh, hot. Definitely hot.
Do with it. Come on.
Greater love hath no man than to lay down his life for another. It is always difficult to have last words over the grave of a friend. And Inspector Daniel Clay was a friend.
Hot or not? Did I say hot? Now I can't decide.
Has wrung upon his great career. Now we lay him to rest.
Oh well, I wouldn't be too sad. I have a feeling he'll soon have a new lease on life. Life after death, that is.
There comes a time in each man's life when he can't even believe his own eyes.
Or he should just put down the bottle. Later that day, the sun went down and it became dark.
Hollywood.
Meanwhile, back in the daytime,
Flying saucers seen over Washington, D.C. The army convoy moved into the field.
there's a field?
Residents near the cemetery paid little attention to the blast of thunder and the flash of lightning. But from the blast arose the moving figure of the dead old man.
Pay attention. It's the original Dracula from the 1931 film. By the time this film was made, Lugosi's career had gone into a bit of a slump. Was that the doorbell or her telephone ringing? Better do something about those ringtones, girl.
Hello? Who? Mac? Well, hi, Mac. Sure, I'm all right. I just fell asleep.
Now, I want you to pay attention because any second now, the dead old man is going to walk through that door. Or is he?
Thanks for calling. Good night.
Yeah, that's right. Put that book back where you were pretending to read. I wish someone would hurry up and invent YouTube. The door certainly creaks in the approved style. This is supposed to be the dead old man. But the guy wandering in the cemetery was indeed the legendary horror film star Bela Lugosi. Ed Wood used Lugosi's admittedly fading star power to help raise money to shoot this film. Then, just as they started shooting, Lugosi tragically died. So Ed Wood, being Ed Wood, he just used all the footage of him they could. Plus, they filmed other scenes with a so-called double for Bela Lugosi. Now, I love the idea in films of this type that if the villain or monster moves towards you slowly, then that's somehow much more scary than if it leapt towards you with great speed. Now, were you watching closely? Because here we are again with the real Bela Lugosi. Confused? You needn't be after another stimulating episode of Max's Midnight Movies. Just remember, though, who does the mock-you commentaries around here? That'd be me, Igor. You starting to be able to tell the difference now? The Return of the Living Dead. Well, it might be, after some time, in the best of midnight movie traditions, of course. We'll check back in a moment. Now, some movement on the moving earth, in fact. I'm sensing a breakthrough here. Vampira just hangs about the place looking generically kind of scary. Wait for it. Wait for it. Ah, yes. Of course, it's Tor Johnson, the super Swedish angel, rising from the dead. Well, trying to anyway. Look at him. Honestly, you can tell he's having trouble getting out of the grave. Come on, somebody give him a hand. All right, reshoot.
If the stories are true, Ed Wood didn't do too many reshoots or even second takes. I guess he thought he couldn't improve on such perfection. It's actually quite touching. Anyway, we have to disappear for 2 shakes of a demon's tail, but I promise we'll be back after the interval, and thrice is bad, so don't touch that dial. Ah, so you decided to stick with us. Welcome back. Unless your brain has been in a jar in the fridge, you'll remember that tonight's show is a tribute to Ed Wood, the drag queen director, often nominated as the worst film director. Personally, I think he's the best worst film director. And there are few better arguments for that than the next sequence from Plan 9 from Outer Space.
A UFO just hanging about in outer space. Oh, good. Now we go on board. To the nerve center of Alien Command. Gleaming banks of supercomputers and futuristic technology. Or, not quite. Nice ham radio set, though.
You are many days late. It was unavoidable. We tried to transmit via televisor, but atmospheric conditions made transmission impossible. You should have transmitted as soon as conditions permitted. I thought time was of the essence. Suspicion has fallen upon our movements.
Who'd have thunk it?
You near the point of operation.
And what has this added time gained, Eros?
We have successfully risen 3 of the dead ones.
Permit me to see one.
Bring in the big one. Use your small electrode gun.
The big one is too flashy.
I have taken 2 ships from your command.
You wicked old flamer.
That will leave only my ship.
It is necessary that you continue your mission alone. I have need of your other ships elsewhere. Even though you have risen 3 of the Earth's dead, the plan is far from successful, and you, Eros, must prove it an operational success. No more time, energy, ships, and your countrymen may be spent on it.
We will not fail.
I thought it was wonderful that the other actor there didn't laugh.
You do not have the live Earth people.
Uh-huh. He improvised that.
You reported that your ship was viewed at the scene of your present operations.
That is correct.
They have been viewed many times, but not at the scene of operations. Something must be done about that.
Uh-huh. Tor Johnson. They bring in Tor Johnson as an example of successful zombification because Bela Lugosi is, well, too dead. Probably Ed Wood would have wheeled him in on a truss if he'd had the option. Plus, they couldn't bring back Vampira. I guess they didn't have enough money in the budget to bring her back.
Drop the gun to the floor, Tanner. The metal will break contact.
This is an Igor Award-worthy performance in itself.
That was too close.
Yes. Bring the giant here that I may get a better look at him.
Ah, yes. Bring him up close and personal. What, you didn't have a chance to look at him when he came in the room?
Yes, he's a fine specimen.
Specimen?
All this powerful on planet Earth?
That's an Italian spaceman, isn't it? Anyway, I'll bet he's quite the muscle marry underneath that suit.
An old man, you say?
Yes, Excellency.
An old man, you say? Not Bela Lugosi? Not exactly.
This gives me a plan. Put the big one away.
Pick up your electrode gun. Make sure it's in working order before pointing it at him.
The remaining jam seems to have been cleared by the fall.
Take him back to the ship.
I love how Commander Bunny is camping it up for all he's worth, while the 2 officer types are obviously taking it all very seriously.
The old one must be sacrificed. Re-land on Earth. Send the old one to enter a dwelling. Then cut the electrokinetic and turn on your ship's exposure ray. The result will astound those watching.
Like Ed Wood, Bunny Breckenridge loved to dress up and drag. Ed Wood, however, was straight. For Ed, wearing women's clothes made him feel closer to them. On the spectrum, Bunny was gayer than a handbag full of rainbows, though he did briefly marry a French aristocrat and father a daughter named Solange. I wonder what happened to her.
Eros, the Earth people are getting closer to that which we fear. Since they will not listen or respect our existence, they cannot help but believe our powers when they see their own dead walking round again, brought about by our advancement in such things.
Is he talking about gay rights? Our advancement in such things. Things already. Pah.
Their own dead will be used to make them accept our existence and believe in that fact.
I love the special effects set design and costume. They go to the outer limits and beyond of what's so bad that it's good. It proves that all you really need to make a movie is a camera, a boom microphone, a cape, and hubcap dangling from string. Oh yeah, and an overactive imagination.
Back on planet Earth, the dead old man, who isn't Bela Lugosi, except when he is, goes on the attack. Once again, we have people rooted to the spot or running away from but still being caught by very slow-moving zombies. On the one hand, it's obviously pretty silly, but on the other, isn't that just like what happens in a nightmare? Anyway, sitting around on the patio, the crack team of America's best and brightest are still trying to figure this whole thing out when they have an unexpected caller. Notice that he had to pull his cape back up to stop it from falling off and revealing to us all that it's not actually Bela Lugosi under there. You keeping up with this?
Get out of here, Jeff. The ship's on fire.
This is the end of the film, so just sit back and enjoy the mayhem. Jeff's not quite finished here, not until he lands a few punches across some alien jaw. There's always plenty of it to go around in the climax of an Ed Wood film. Anyway, this actress has really given it all she's got, proving there are no small parts, just small actors. Yeah, right. Give it all you got, babe. Didn't he run out the door a minute or so ago? It takes a long time to run through these alien doors, you know. Emote, babe. Emote!
I wonder if that's the last we'll see of them. Perhaps. But sooner or later, there'll be others. Look!
Have they caught that woman? That thing yet?
That's right. There's another ghoul running loose. And it's my guess that she'll look like him.
They'd be talking about Vampira, of course. They have to explain away her disappearance from the story because they don't have another $200 to spend on bringing her back for reshoots. Oh, the humanity.
What a glorious finale to perhaps the best worst movie ever made. Even if Ed Wood had only made Plan 9 from outer space, he'd still be the recipient of a special Lifetime Achievement Igor Award.
Burbank Tower to American Flight 812. Over. Burbank Tower to American Flight 812. Over.
Holy mackerel.
Sadly, Plan 9 represented the peak of his career. After that, it was gallons of cheap scotch, reel after reel of smut films, and stacks of pulp novels. He wrote dozens of them. But before all that, there was The Revenge of Dr. X.
Now, this isn't actually meant to be the surface of some alien planet. No, this is a mountainous volcanic region of Japan, as you can tell from the ancient sushi lunch bar theme music. Anyway, it's here Dr. X, real name Dr. Kragan, has created a half-human, half-plant-life monster named Zactormoris.
Zactormoris!
That's my name, don't wear it out.
Zactormoris!
I said don't wear it out. So his hand has gone weird. He's doomed, I tell you, doomed! The baby goat is meant to be like bait for the hungry plant man monster. This is the mad scientist's naughty but lovely lab assistant, Noriko. She'd been told to stay back at base camp and cry helplessly until Dr. X gets back. Or not, as the case may be. Naturally, she's decided to completely disobey these orders and follow him into danger anyway. Now, this guy spends the entire movie shouting this way. The actor James Craig was a real dreamboat for the girls with his blue hand and his pet goat and his habit of yelling all the time.
Find a nice, safe place to continue our work.
This guy used to be a stand-in for a real movie star, Clark Gable. You can almost tell as much from the pencil-line mustache and the brilliantine hairstyle, though I don't remember Clark Gable ever shouting like this. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Where are you?
It's going to be tough to see him in that smoke.
There you are. Come on, old boy.
What a creature to feature. It's sort of like a lobster made of vegetables.
I'll lead you to safety. Come on, old man. Take the goat.
Can you imagine Clark Gable saying take the goat to a monster vegetable lobster? What? Did you think I'm some sort of stupid vegetable creature or something? And so, monster and creator together plummet to their deaths. How, like, freaking poetic is that? Oh well, at least the goat's all right. And back with the all-you-can-eat sushi bar music. Nah, don't they make a cute couple? So, we're really ending on the end. How do you follow an act like that anyway? Sayonara.
There you have it. Edward D. Wood Jr. What an artist. We shall not see the likes of him again. Well, that's about it for tonight, Midnight Movie Lovers. See you again next time.